Alrighty, what is up, fellas? How we doing? It is a 5-game Thursday slate. It was a quiet day for a little bit, and then we just got word, just now that we got word that RJ Barrett's out, which, we were kind of waiting for that. But the big news that dropped this afternoon was SGA out. So SGA being out for the Thunder. Like, this is obviously going to be a situation you kind of have to look to because these OKC guys, they're just so cheap. Lou Dort's their most expensive player, and he's 5,700. Like, you're just going to get so much value from OKC now. I worry about blowout here. I worry about the Thunder just being completely terrible. Without their best players, no SGA, no Giddey. I mean, the final score to this game could be like 100-70 or something. Like, I could see OKC as a team just doing completely terrible tonight. But with how cheap all these guys are, some of these guys might still play in a blowout, like Trey Mann, maybe Ty Jerome would play in a blowout. You're going to have to look at some of these value guys, and I think we did just get their starting lineup. So we did get their starting lineup. It's going to be Trey Mann, Ty Jerome, Lou Dort, Baisley, and Robinson Earl. So Ty Jerome getting the start for SGA, which I thought would happen. Ty Jerome, Trey Mann, really, really good values now. I mean, last night with Giddey out, we saw Trey Mann start again. He played 32 minutes. He really was not productive at all. But taking SGA off the court, that's going to allow for Trey Mann to do more offensively. Taking SGA off is just huge because SGA is obviously the highest usage player on this team. He's their star player. There's just going to be more opportunity for all these guys. They're a terrible team. I don't feel great about these guys, but they're just so cheap. You kind of have to go there. So definitely like some of these OKC guys for value now. I think these Knicks guys, now that RJ Barrett's out, like Derrick Rose at 4,800, he might start in place of Barrett. I definitely have interest in him. He played a ton of minutes last game. Emmanuel quickly played a ton of minutes too. Like, I think the OKC guys are going to be pretty chalky, so if you want to get a little different in tournaments, you could play like a Derrick Rose or Emmanuel Quickly, who I don't think get nearly as much ownership. They're a little bit more expensive, but they have upside for sure. I think the Knicks are going to run a really tight rotation tonight. They might play they might only play like 8 guys. But if you got questions about tonight's slate, you start throwing those in chat. We're going to be live till about 7 Eastern. Answer any questions, talk through the slate. Hopefully we can get a W tonight. Memphis going to blow out OKC with no Giddey or SGA. I mean, it's possible. Yeah, it's possible. I don't know what the spread is right now. I assume it's like double digits. Let me see. So let's see. So OKC, they were to begin the day, they were 9.5-point dogs. Now they're 11.5-point dogs. So the line moved 2 points after SGA got ruled out. I mean, yeah, Memphis is favored by 11.5. The Thunder have a 99 implied team total. I mean, this is obviously a situation that's really risky. But again, with how cheap all these Thunder guys are, even if the game blows out, there's a possibility that some of these guys do well because, they're going to have to play minutes. They don't have enough, they don't have anyone else to play. So I don't know how many active players they're going to have either. That'll be something to keep an eye on. I think last game, they played like 11 or 12 guys yesterday against the Rockets. But I'm pretty sure some of these guys are in the G League. Like, I think Ty Jerome's in the G League. Or not Ty Jerome, Theo Maudin. I think Theo Maudin's in the G League, so he's out. I think I saw in the injury report someone else was in the G League. Like, Aaron Wiggins, I think, is out too. So they're pretty thin. Like, I don't think they have a ton of available players. I think they have 10 available players. OKC does. I mean, it's going to be a situation you gotta look to for value. Hey, Noah, good luck. William, good luck to you as well, my man. Good luck to you as well. Yo, what's up, man? I've been on these prize picks in DK now. You have any people you're liking on prize picks? Paul over 10.5 seems like a lot. I mean, I like Paul's over on assists. I just think without Devin Booker, like, Chris Paul is going to have the ball in his hands a ton. And his assist rate, I looked at it, with Devin Booker off the floor, Chris Paul's assist rate's 50%. So, yeah, I mean, I think Chris Paul can get 11 assists. I like over 10.5 assists for him. But if you want to go on some of these Thunder guys, like, I don't think the projections really changed at all. Like, Lou Dort's still only projected for 26.5 fantasy points. JRE's only projected for 21.5. I mean, somebody's going to have to somebody's going to have to score. Somebody's going to have to get rebounds for this team. So I think, over on these Thunder guys, I kind of like, hope the game stays close, hope they keep it somewhat competitive, and these guys play their full minutes. They're very likely to exceed these projections just because, somebody's going to have to take shots. So I like those Thunder guys overs. If you want, it's a little risky, but I still like those And the projections really didn't change even after SGA got ruled out. Mitch Rob season, I mean, I think with Nerlens Noel out, there's definitely more opportunity for Mitchell Robinson. We haven't seen him play like a lot of minutes this year. Even when guys have been out, like he still doesn't play a ton. They're fine playing like Julius Randle at the 5 to close out the game. I think Mitchell Robinson plays like 25 to 28 minutes. He should be really low owned, so if you want to go there in tournaments, I think it's fine, but not a standout value. There's definitely other values I would prefer. I know they had a prop up on Prize Picks for Mitchell Robinson. I think they took it off the board. They had him projected for like 5.5 points. If you would have got over on that, I think that would have been a really good bet. I mean, I would think Mitchell Robinson, if he plays like 28 minutes, he can score 6 points, but the prop's off now. Looks like they took off like almost all the Knicks. Looks like Alec Burks is off the board. Julius Randle's off the board. They still got Derrick Rose up there, but I'm guessing with this RJ Barrett news, they wanted to get all those guys off, which kind of makes sense. I mean, their projection should rise a little bit with Barrett out. Randle strong play with Barrett and Noel out. I think Julius Randle's definitely in play. I like him a little bit more on Yahoo. He's a little bit cheaper there than he is on Draftkings, but he's going to play a ton. I think the Knicks are going to run a pretty tight rotation, so we should expect big minutes for Julius Randle. Are Burks and DeRozan in play? They're both in play for me. Burks on Draftkings is kind of expensive. He's like almost $7K now. It's tough to pay that price tag for Alec Burks, but like on Yahoo, he's still really cheap. Derrick Rose is cheap on Draftkings. So yes, they're in play. I like Burks a lot more on Yahoo though than I do on DK. McDermott and Vassell back. Maybe no Derek White. I think that does hurt Derek White a little bit. Derek White wasn't really a standout play to begin with, in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, now that McDermott and Vassell are back, that's going to take minutes away from Derek White. He probably doesn't play as many minutes as he's been getting. Same with like Keldon Johnson. Lonnie Walker probably takes a hit. I think from San Antonio, Murray and Pirtle are like the two guys I'd be targeting there. That's probably it. I'm doing 4 entries tonight. You think it would be okay to fade the early games, or you think I should give them some exposure? I mean, if you're playing 4 lineups, I would probably want Giannis in at least one of my 4 lineups, I would think. So, I mean, I wouldn't fade the early games. I mean, there's definitely some good plays in the early games. Like, the Knicks, like I said, they're going to run a tight rotation. You're probably going to get big minutes from Derrick Rose. He's only 4,800. Quickly probably plays big minutes. He's more of a tournament play, but I think he's viable. I don't really like much on the Bulls, but like, yeah, I mean, you can play Giannis. Giannis is easy to get in today with so much value opening up from OKC. And then the Raptors guys, we know the Raptors guys are going to play a ton of minutes if it's a close game. So I wouldn't just full fade the early games, especially if you're playing 4 lineups. Robinson or Pirtle? Give me Pirtle. Simons, Rose, or Mann? Give me Anthony Simons still, but I think Derrick Rose, now that RJ Barrett's out, Derrick Rose looks a little bit better, but I would still take Simons there. CP3 and Barnes or Giannis, Cam Johnson? Man, that's close. Give me Giannis and Cam Johnson, but that's a really close one. Any interest in the Suns with Booker out? I mean, yeah, Chris Paul, without Devin Booker, I think his upside is massive. I do worry about blowout for Phoenix. Like, I think Phoenix could beat the crap out of Detroit tonight. But if the game stays close and Chris Paul plays his full minutes, he's got massive upside. I think DeAndre Ayton's, it's a great matchup for Ayton. I like him quite a bit. And then, there's some value from Phoenix too. Jay Crowder, Cam Johnson, who's probably going to start for Booker. I think Cam Johnson's a solid value. So there's a good amount to like from Phoenix for sure. Nurkic or Pirtle? Give me Nurkic. Burks or Rose on Yahoo or both. I mean, you could play both red, but straight up, I'd take Burks. I had Wood and KPJ last night, RIP. Hey, same here, man. Same here. I think there was a lot of people that played those two guys together. I mean, they were both really good plays. Is Fred VanVleet in play? VanVleet's always in play for me. He plays a ton of minutes. He's going to play like 40 minutes if the game's close. So, yeah, he's always in play. I don't think he's a standout option on this slate. Like, I'd rather play Chris Paul for cheaper. I'd rather play McCollum for cheaper. But I think VanVleet's still viable. Is Grayson Allen a good value? Not going to be on Grayson Allen today. Not for me. Who you liking for a Yahoo center tonight? Pay for Ayton or pay down to JRE? I think my favorite centers on Yahoo are probably Ayton and Nurkic. If you want to go cheap though, T-Bone, I think JRE is playable. But I think, I do worry a bit about, like, what is JRE's upside? Like, is JRE, does he have the upside to be, like, the guy you have to have at center? I mean, I don't think so. I think Ayton, Nurkic, I mean, both those guys could give you 45, 50 tonight. So I would be trying to play those two guys. Just sign up for your Patreon. Love it already. Let's smash. Hey, Tom, love to hear it, man. Let's get it, baby. Sun starting lineup drop yet? No, I don't think we're going to get a Sun starting lineup till, probably later tonight. I mean, they probably won't put out their starting lineup till, like, an hour before tip-off. Maybe even, like, 30 minutes before tip-off. You're going to be waiting for that one. But my best guess is that Cam Johnson starts for Devin Booker. But it could be Landry Shamet too. One of those two guys. VanVleet or Vooch? Give me VanVleet. What do you think about Mikal Bridges? He's playing a ton of minutes. Yeah, he's playing a ton of minutes. He's still a pretty low upside player. Like, Mikal Bridges is really unlikely to be a guy you have to have at the end of the day. When Mikal Bridges puts up a big game, it's usually because he gets, like, a lot of stocks. And we saw that happen in the Brooklyn game. He got, like, 7 steals. I don't really want to bank on that happening. I don't think Mikal Bridges sees a massive boost without Devin Booker. Like, I don't think it matters for him too much. Plus, he's priced at, like, almost 6K. So, I'm not really that high on Mikal Bridges, personally. Any recommendation for a util spot with 6,900 salary? 6,900 in the util, I would probably go, man, if you can find $100, I would try and play Nurkic. But my favorite play there would probably be either Alec Burks or Pirtle. But if you can try and get to Nurkic, I would want to do that. Burks or Dort? Give me Burks, just straight up. Favorite values on Yahoo? I mean, it's probably some of the, OKC guys. They're really cheap. So, like, Ty Jerome, Trey Mann. Alec Burks is still really cheap on Yahoo. I like him a lot there. Anthony Simons is still cheap. Lou Dort's kind of cheap on Yahoo. Those guys. Middleton, Brooks, or Jaren Jackson Jr. Give me Brooks there, but it's close between Brooks and Triple J. I think those two are very close for me. I got 19.5 fantasy points on Robinson. I like that, Jason. I did make an entry whenever SGA got ruled out. I got over on 21.5 fantasy points for JRE, over on 26 fantasy points for Lou Dort, over 21.5 fantasy points for Baisley, and then over 29 fantasy points for Dylan Brooks. I made that entry once we got news SGA was out. Hopefully those Thunder guys can just keep the game close. We get full minutes from all of them, and they should be able to go over those projections, I would think, if they can keep the game close. Are you paying up for Giannis, or would you prefer to play the cheaper studs? I mean, it's fairly easy to play Giannis today with more value opening up, especially from OKC. So anytime you can fit Giannis, he's going to be a really good play. Because, like, even when Giannis has a bad game, he's still giving you, like, 50, 55. His floor is just so high. So anytime I can play Giannis, I usually try and do it. Trey Mann or Ty Jerome? I prefer Ty Jerome. I think Ty Jerome's a slightly more productive player. I think, both those guys are really good values. I think you could play both together. But I would give a slight edge to Ty Jerome. 3,200 util on DK. I think Ty Jerome's 3,200, so play him. Rose over 27 fantasy points. I kind of like that. If you want to take that, I think there's a good possibility that Derrick Rose starts in place of Barrett. And if he starts, he probably plays big minutes. And we know Derrick Rose is productive when he's on the court. So, plus it's a game against the Bulls. He always gets up for these games against his former teams. It seems like. McDermott or Covington. Whew. On this slate, I don't really like either one of those guys, but I guess I go Covington. Rocco, Murray, Ayton, or Jerome Adams and Giannis. Give me Jerome Adams and Giannis. Dort White or Jakob Poeltl. Give me Jakob Poeltl there, but that's close between him and Dort. But give me Poeltl. There's a promo on Dak passing yards. Yeah, I did see that. If you guys play on Prize Picks, there's a promo they're running right now for Dak's passing yards. I think it's still up. Yeah, so you got 10 minutes if you want to get it in. They they lowered his passing yard projection to 249.5. I think it's pretty likely Dak throws for 250 yards tonight. So If you do NFL on PrizePicks and you want to get this in, you can take over on that, find another pick you like, and I think it's like a $25 max bet, but you can put 2 picks together and parlay them, do a power play, triple up your money, easy as that. So if you play on PrizePicks, yeah, definitely take advantage of that promo. And if you don't play on PrizePicks yet, I mean, what the hell are you doing? Sign up, use code Noah, and get that entry in. Noah, thanks for all your hard work, Brody. Your mustache is serious. Appreciate you, Keith. The mustache, man, it's way too long right now. But I'm keeping it. I'm keeping it. I just want to grow it out, see how long I can get it. Is it smart to roster 3 Thunder? I think that's fine, Tony. With how cheap these Thunder guys are, you could definitely play like Trey Mann, Ty Jerome, Dort, or Baisley. Like, you could play 3. I think it's totally fine. I think in order for 3 Thunder to all get there, you're going to need the game to stay close. Like, if the game blows out, there's a good possibility that, a lot of, like, Dort would probably really do, like, Dort would be a bust. Baisley would probably bust. I could still see Ty Jerome and Trey Mann having good games in a blowout just because they're so cheap. But in order for Baisley and Dort and even JRE to do good, to do really well, to do good, like, you're probably going to need the game to stay close, I would think. Crowder or Cam Johnson? That's really close, Brendan. I want to say Crowder, but I think those 2 guys are very similar. Best small forward options on Yahoo. I don't like anyone, maybe Bridges. For me, it's Dylan Brooks. I think Dylan Brooks is the best small forward on Yahoo, so I would say Dylan Brooks. Yeah, small forward on Yahoo is really bad tonight. There's just not really many playable options. Ty Jerome or Mann, again, I would take Ty Jerome, but I think, it's really close between those 2. Both are in play, and both are really good values. Van Vliet or Levine, give me Van Vliet. Nurkic or Triple J, give me Nurkic. Thanks, Noah. Hit the like button, everyone. Hey, you bet, T-Bone. You bet, my man. Hit the like button, fellas. You heard the man. What's up, Noah? You think Dort or Trent? I would take Dort over Gary Trent, straight up. Rose or Simons? Give me Anthony Simons, but I think that is close. Now that Barrett's out, I think Rose does get a boost, but I would still probably take Anthony Simons. Randall or Murray? Give me Dejounte Murray. Chance of winning without Giannis in your lineup? I mean, it's going to depend on what these value guys do. Like, let's say Trey Mann, Ty Jerome both give you like 30, and then Giannis puts up 60. Very likely that Giannis will be in the winning lineup or, be a good play. If these value guys do really bad and they bust and Giannis only goes for like 50 tonight, then yeah, I mean, Giannis is not going to be someone you have to have, but it's going to depend on what these value guys do, because if the value guys do well and Giannis does well, then there's the winning combo right there, because it's fairly easy to play Giannis tonight with these values. What are your thoughts of Murray, CJ, Perks, Crowder, Pirtle, Simons, Dort, and Payne? I think that's pretty solid, David. I mean, Cameron Payne, God, like I don't know how much Cameron Payne's gonna play like alongside CP3. If we were to see Cameron Payne starting, I would really like him, but I don't think that's gonna happen. So I just worry a bit about his minutes. Like, I wonder how many minutes he actually plays, how many more additional minutes he actually gets. Like, are they gonna play CP3 and Payne alongside each other? I don't know. Crowder or Stewart straight up? Give me Crowder. Gator Nation, sorry about that loss. It was a good game. Neither of them had a good year. God. Yeah, I mean, Florida had a pretty bad year too, but you guys at least got the win against us, and you're bowl eligible now. I was hoping we could win that game, man. For one, it'd be a huge win against a rival opponent, and we'd be bowl eligible. But just a tough year to be a Knowles fan. Hopefully we can turn around next season. We'll see. Simons, Mann, or Jerome? Give me Simons for sure. Are you playing the Greek Freak? I mean, I haven't built my lineup yet. Again, I think it's fairly easy to play Giannis tonight, and normally when I can play Giannis, I play Giannis. So, I mean, I think I'll probably be playing him just because you can get him in fairly easy with these OKC values. You think Jerome plays over 30 minutes? I think he plays around 30 minutes. I think if the game stays close, he probably does play 30-plus minutes. If the game blows out, then they could maybe give some more minutes to bench guys. But I think if the game's close, Ty Jerome will play around 30 minutes. I want to see what his minutes projection is. I'm going to refresh real quick, see what it says. Yeah, so they got Ty Jerome projected for 32 minutes. So, I mean, he's projected to play over 30 minutes. I mean, yeah, he's going to be one of the better value plays, I would say. Ty Jerome, relatively productive player when he gets minutes, especially when he's got the ball in his hands. Shooting guard plays on Yahoo. It's probably my favorite plays at shooting guard. CJ McCollum, Lou Dort. Ty Jerome's a shooting guard on Yahoo. Yeah, probably those guys, like those three. I think Derrick Rose is a shooting guard too. Let's see. Yeah, so Derrick Rose. So really, like CJ McCollum, Derrick Rose, Ty Jerome, and Lou Dort, probably my favorite shooting guards on Yahoo. CP3, McCollum, Dort, Cam Johnson, Ayton, Mann, Keldon Johnson, Pirtle. CP3, McCollum, Dort, Cam Johnson, Ayton, Mann. I mean, I like that, Ryan. Keldon Johnson, I worry a bit. I don't know if he plays as many minutes now that McDermott and Vassell are back, but I still think that's pretty solid. I mean, so let's see what Keldon Johnson's price is. He's 5,700. You already have Dort. Let's see. I mean, yeah, I guess he's fine to play. I mean, I don't see anyone I'd be playing over him at that price. Maybe like Tyus Jones. Would you take out CP3 or McCollum to fit in Giannis? I mean, Nicholas, I like CP3 and McCollum a lot, so I think it's fine. Just leave those guys in. I mean, you can still play one of those two with Giannis. I don't know if you ain't gonna be able to play all three, I wouldn't think. Especially because a lot of the value tonight is at guard. You're gonna have to go cheap at guard for the most part to get Giannis in. You still like Shamet? I think Shamet's in play. I think Shamet will see more minutes without Devin Booker. I think there's a possibility that Shamet starts. He's a really scoring-dependent player, but he's cheap. He should get more minutes without Devin Booker. He might play in a blowout. I don't know, but I think he might play it if it was a blowout. So he's definitely viable for sure. And you can play him at small forward on DK, which makes him really appealing to roster because small forward's just super, super thin on DraftKings tonight. How many players is too much from the Knicks and Thunder combined? I would think if you're playing like 5 guys from those two teams, that's probably too much. But I think maybe 2 or 3 Thunder's fine and 1 or 2 Knicks is fine, I would say. But I wouldn't play like more than 5. If you've got like 6 players from those two teams, that's probably too much. Crowder or Baisley? Give me Baisley. Crowder or Robinson Earl? I would still take Crowder there, Tony, but I think that's kind of close. Any Isaiah Roby love? I mean, I don't know. Like, Mike Muscala's back for OKC tonight, so Mike Muscala being back, I think, hurts Roby. I mean, Roby's a big, so I don't know if, like, I don't think SGA being out is really going to allow for Roby to play more. He should be maybe more productive, but now that Mike Muscala's back, like, I just don't think Roby plays enough to be viable. I mean, yesterday he only played, like, 14 minutes or something, so I probably wouldn't be going there. Levine or CJ, give me McCollum. Cam Johnson or Covington, give me Cam Johnson. Baisley or Robinson Earl, give me Baisley. Favorite OKC guys? I mean, the value, I think, is what stands out the most. So Ty Jerome and Trey Mann, I like the most for value. But I think, if the game stays close, I think you could get a big game from Lou Dort. I think Baisley could do really well if the game stays close. I think those guys have a big ceiling just because, they're pretty good offensive players. And I think, for the most part, they're going to be the ones taking all the shots. But if the game blows out, you could definitely see Baisley get his minutes cut. Lou Dort could get his minutes cut. Whereas Ty Jerome, Trey Mann might still play in a blowout. We got a $9.99 super chat from Ryan. Thanks, GOAT. Good luck tonight. Hey, good luck, Ryan. Appreciate the super chat, my man. Appreciate the super chat. Good luck to you as well. All right, boys. I think I'm out of here. Best of luck tonight. I appreciate you guys tuning into the stream. Okay, we just got word Emmanuel quickly will start for RJ Barrett. So I think maybe Derrick Rose, instead of maybe like 34, 36 minutes for Derrick Rose, he probably plays like 28, 30. And then I think you can give quickly a few more minutes now that he's starting. But I do expect the Knicks to run a tight rotation. I think there's pretty likely to be at least a couple guys that do really well from the Knicks tonight. But yeah, good luck tonight, fellas. Appreciate y'all being here. We'll be back tomorrow, an hour before lock as always. It's a Friday, so I'm pretty sure we have like a big slate tomorrow. But I'll see you guys tomorrow. Best of luck tonight, fellas.